Hi, I'm Jess, and I'm here to guide you through an opening of the front body. You will need a block and a strap, and please remember to hit subscribe so you can get more videos like this. Today, with the block, we will begin on our back. So coming to our back in a bridge prep position. So feet are on the floor. Low back is pressing into the mat, right? Maybe not all the way, and the tailbone's pressing a little too. And what I want us to do is lift the hips up and place the block underneath the sacrum. And so it should be placed so that you feel very comfortable here and able to stay here for a while. From here, with the feet lined up with your hip bones, right? So not super wide and not touching. As we exhale, we're going to bring our right knee into the chest, give it a little squeeze, and then send our right leg up towards the ceiling. Good, and just hold behind that leg and bend back into that knee. Good, and squeeze it in. And then slowly start to send the left leg out. And take a few breaths here, perhaps already feeling an opening on that left front body. Good. And then bring that left foot back and place that right knee down. And as you exhale, bring your left knee in and extend the leg. You can hold on, just notice how that feels. Bend back in and then extend your right leg out long. And perhaps you start to feel a release here. Good. Bend back into that right knee and place that left foot on the ground. Nice. And from here, slowly lift your arms up and overhead. Try to relax your arms here. And then bring your left leg out long. Good. Pause here. Take a few big breaths. Maybe feeling expansion in the belly as you breathe in, and then slowly bring your left foot back to the ground and extend through the right leg. So that right foot can go out to the right or the toes can be pointed up. It's about relaxing the body. So find a way to tap into that relaxation. And then place that foot back down on the ground. Good. And as you exhale, bring the arms back down by your sides. And then lift your hips and remove the block, placing that low back on the mat, noticing how that feels. I already feel a lot more grounded. And extend one leg out at a time, just to take account of how the hip flexors feel right in here where the hip meets the pelvis, perhaps even up in here where the ribs meet the belly, right? And even down onto the front of the thighs where the knees meet the quads. Good, just noticing how you feel. And bend into both knees, and then option to roll to one side and press up to sit, or rock and roll up to sit. We're going to make our way to hands and knees here. This is where the strap is going to come in handy. So we're going to need it alongside of us. And the block is going to come right about in the middle of the mat. And we're going to step our right foot forward. Lifting off our back knee, we want to place the left knee on the block with the right foot on the ground. And then come on up into a high lunge. Good. So walking the right foot forward here, begin to not sink, but lean in, right? And keep a lifting feeling happening. Reach for your strap. Good. And holding the strap between two hands, I'm going to keep mine folded. Lift the strap overhead and lean over to the right. So towards that front knee Good, and really stretch here, and perhaps you can feel something happening on that front left side body. Good, come up to center and come over to the other side. Good, really press down through your right foot. Come back to center and place that strap down. Bring your hands down and release off of the block. Bring the block all the way over to the right side. Press both hands down here and step the right foot into the air for a three-legged dog. Bend into that right knee. Open up through the hip. And then place the right foot next to the left. Come into plank. Good. And then keep pressing into the hands and feet. Bring the feet over to the right. Lift the left arm, side plank. And then bring that right knee down. Modified side plank. Lift up the left leg. Bend into the left knee and reach for the back or the top of the foot. And press your foot into your hand, and your hand into your foot. You can always use the strap here to hold on to the foot. And breathe here. Release. Place that foot down. Keep lifting through the left hand. Press down through the right hand. And lift that right leg up, back behind the left foot. Left hand comes down. We're in plank, and then drop both knees. Sit back on the heels, take a moment, maybe roll out the wrist. Nice, so now we get to do the other side. I'm gonna turn around here. And the block is gonna go where my right knee is going to be. And my left foot is going to step forward. My hands come down to lift off the right knee to press that right knee into the block. And then coming up, holding my strap now so it's handy, walking the feet forward, leaning. Oh, I feel it. And knowing that each side is different, right? So I may have more mobility on this side, but I feel more stable with my toes tucked than with them untucked. There's no rule there. Keeping the hips coming forward, strap in both hands, lift up the arms, and lean over to the left. Really push up with that right arm, push down through that right knee. Keep pushing through your left foot. And breathe here. Come up to your center and over to the other side. Nice, breathe here. Good, and back through center. Bring the strap down. Hands come down, lift off that right knee and move that block to the side and step into a three-legged down dog with that left leg up. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Good, and then bring that foot down and make your way into plank. We're coming into our side plank. Heels go to the left, right arm lifts up, and then left knee comes down, right leg lifts up, bend into that right knee, reach for the top of the foot, press into the hand. Good, and breathe. Good, there's a push and pull happening here between the hand and the foot. Release, bring that foot down. Good, keep pressing to lift the bottom leg back up. Top hand comes down. We're in high plank. Drop the knees and pause for a moment. Breathing here. And now getting more of the front by strengthening through the back And so the block is going to come underneath the belly. It's going to nestle in between your hip points and your ribs. And the block is about the perfect size. I will tell you a couple of warnings. It's uncomfortable. Also, it's a little bit weird at first if you've never done this to feel your heart beating in your belly. And if it feels really uncomfortable, you always have an option of using a blanket instead underneath. And so we're just going to try here. Good. And so I'm going to stack my fist to bring my forehead down. You want to make sure you have not eaten or it's going to feel really icky. And breathe here. And with every exhale, feel as though you are allowing the belly, the ribs, the hips to wrap around the block, to release. And let that breath be the indicator of how you are feeling, right? So slow down the breath as much as possible. Perhaps it's in through the nose and out through the nose. Nice. And from here, bringing those hands underneath the shoulders, start to press into the hands. Good. My low belly's still connected to the block, and I'm lifting up. Oh, I'm feeling such a good stretch through that front body. Good. And come down. And once again, lift up. Good. That head does not have to come up. Chin does not have to come up. But we are feeling as though we're pulling the chest through the arms. Getting a lot of length through the front body. Come on down. Good. Last time. Inhale. Come on up. Good. And maybe keep pressing to lift up your hips. Walk your knees in and sit back on your heels. Maybe lift up that block to rest your head on it. And a rest. Kind of like a child's pose. Good. Inhale, come on up. And once again, let's make our way onto our back. Keeping the block handy, it's going to come underneath our sacrum again. And so once we're there, lifting the hips, placing the block underneath the body. Good. And this time, lengthening one leg. Breathe here. And only if it feels comfortable, lengthen the other leg. Notice what happens. If your pelvis starts to tilt, try not to let that happen. And breathe here. You have the option to lift the arms up overhead. You can do one at a time or them both together. And breathe here. And perhaps you're feeling much more open between the ribs and the hips, between the hip bones and where the hip and leg meet, and where the quads are and the tops of the knees. If your arms aren't down yet, bring them down and slowly, one by one, lift each knee up so feet is on the ground. Good. And then last time, lift the hips up. Keep the hips up. Remove the block. Roll those shoulders in. Not necessary to clasp hands, just lifting here. And slowly rolling down and extending the legs long. Arms by your side or on your belly, and taking a moment to notice what you notice. Good. And then slowly bring those knees back into the chest. Come over to one side to press up, to sit. And hopefully you feel much more open in the front body. You can do this sequence over and over as many times as you like to get more of an opening, or hold any postures longer if they feel really good to you. I thank you so much for joining me today and wish you a magical day.